Welcome. We've got another episode of
Sip, Savor, and Celebrate.
I'm Chris.
And I'm Devin.
Today we're going to be doing a tasting review of Chamucas. And today we have the Añejo from Chamucas.
Is that Chinese?
No. Nice try. But no, of course, it is Mexico. And today, let me tell you about Chamucas. They actually have had 4 distilleries. And this specific spirit was made over at Distillería Casa del Paidora. And of course, I apologize if I'm saying it wrong. And Chamucas is actually, let's take a look how it's made. They are actually making it with, of course, blue agave. It is from the blue agave that's been made in the tequila area, Jalisco, Mexico. They use deep well water to distill it down to 40% alcohol. They use stainless steel tanks, open air fermentation. Fermentation without fibers. So we have a couple different distillers in the area that actually use the fibers from the agave in the distilling or the fermentation process. For instance, the Casa Picados, they actually use the fibers in there, and that's what gives it more of a lactate taste to it, more of a milk or cheese, and that is amazing. I'm not gonna lie, that is amazing. However,
check out our previous video if you want to know what we think about that.
And this one does not use the fibers, so it's more of a traditional tequila, which is really nice. They use deep well water to distill it down. They use stainless steel tanks when they ferment it. When they still it, they use stainless steel tanks. Some companies use copper or steel or one or the other, but in this case, they actually use stainless steel. When aging it, this one they use either French oak or white oak. They use a roller mill to crush the agave. Again, remember what I said in the last video. Stay away from anything that says diffuser. If it says diffuser, don't buy it. Do not buy that because it is gross. When they cook it,
y'all,
you're killing me. Skipping ahead. They use a stone brick ovens to cook this. They cook it for several hours to get it to change those starches over to sugars. And according to Tequila Matchmaker, again, download the app. If you're looking for any kind of guide as far as what you should and should not buy, I always use Tequila Matchmaker. And I've gotten to the point where, if it doesn't have a score of 80 and above, I'm just not going to buy it. There's no reason to. Because I know when you get into the 70s and below, that there's going to be a lot of heat.
Or a lot of additives.
I prefer to have something that's smooth and wonderful that I can drink. I don't want to have to use a salt and lime just to make this palatable. No, thank you. I will have something that is good. All right, so I'm looking at what some people are talking about. Let me close this out so I don't get the influence.
Dude. Okay. It's not often I do the uncorking. It's usually left up to you, but I kind of, decided to do that too. And that is exactly the face I made, too, while you were talking about where it's made. Y'all.
Now, actually, even though they didn't use the fibers, I do get that lactate. I get a creaminess.
I don't disagree. You get that agave punches you in the nose.
Of course, agave. Yes, definitely agave.
But there's a heavy citrus to it, followed by that almost creamy lactate that I'm
Creamy.
like, y'all, check this out.
Creamy, agave, a little slight pepper. I do get a little bit of pepper in there, but you know what? It's not so hot that you can't stand it.
I don't even get pepper, so I'm going to leave your nose to that one.
I love it. I love it. You know what? It's got a great... well, maybe I might have...
No, it has amazing tears and legs that happen. As you saw, I just swirled this, and unfortunately, you can't really pick up on the 100%, but
legs
it
and tears
is
on this.
amazing.
Yeah, she's coating really well. Might have... cheers, brother, but you might have poured a little heavy pour on this one. We won't talk about that, but, you know. Oh, man. Get the palate used to the 40%. You know what? I get cinnamon on this one. Cinnamon, vanilla, baking spices. It's definitely... Oh, wow. That's nice. But there's some pepper in there.
I love the smell, but I am severely disappointed. I get the agave forward, and then it's nothing but bitter. And then it's kind of like baking soda. Like when you have heartburn and need to like cleanse it. Mm-hmm. That's kind of what this reminds me of. I'm so bummed because, let me tell you, that nose is amazing.
Oh, the nose is really good. But you know what? I'm going to tell you what. You're going to be surprised at this. Give me just 2 seconds here. You keep going. Because you're going to be surprised at something when I tell you this.
But I also want to say that this is kind of a younger tequila. It just has that flavor of a younger tequila. Like, it hasn't rested long enough to develop its full potential. Like, we're right in the middle of like gaining its best, but not there yet.
Okay.
Was this a Reposado, or was this a young Añejo?
This is an Añejo, which means that it's between 1 and 3 years.
So I would venture to say this is closer to that 1 year, because although you get the color, I don't think you get all of the flavor.
Well, let me share something with you.
Okay.
Guess how much you think I paid for an Añejo?
You're probably at... First off, is this available in Michigan?
This is available in Michigan.
Okay. So you're probably at $85?
$59.74.
Okay.
So I'm going to put this in my budget Añejos.
Okay.
Which is super... Let me... Again, I can't reply more enough that this is... When you get to the Añejo, it is a different world.
And you said 55?
59. 59.74.
So $3 more than a bottle of Patron.
Yes. Still way better than a Patron.
I don't disagree, but a lot of our followers know Patron, so that's why you keep hearing me talk about Patron.
I know.
It's because that is our connection to what they understand.
Yes.
You know, and Patron is in lots of music, and T-Pain has made it very clear. I mean, but it's true.
God, it smells so good.
Now that it's been a minute...
Is it the best I've ever had?
Because you saw me take a drink a minute ago, but... Excuse me. But on that back, you do get that lactate. You get that almost full-body flavor that comes at the very end. I don't disagree.
It is creamy. It is...
But the creamy comes at the very end to me.
It's not as sweet as a lot of Añejos that I've ever had, but it is on the verge of being almost candy-like. I I still recommend it. I'm sorry. I know you're probably looking at each one of our videos that we've given. We've only recommended. And the reason why is because I do use Tequila Matchmaker to decide whether I'm going to buy the bottle or not. And this, of course, had above 80. So when you look at Tequila Matchmaker on this particular brand, let me look here, Chamucas.
And keep in mind, the reason why we are, a base of 2 panelists is because my tastes are very different than yours.
Oh,
and
100%.
And so what I find amazing, he doesn't always find that amazing. And
Right.
so I appreciate that it is both of us reviewing it because as
You
you've
need
seen,
to get a more rounded recommendation.
as you've seen, I found some things bitter that you're like, bro, this is like an apple pie. How can you not love apple pie?
Is this 100%? No, of course it's not. But we are giving, the panel actually gives us an 81. I'd be in around between 81, 84 on Tequila Matchmaker as far as how I'd recommend this one.
Now, I would
Yes.
probably recommend that at a 60%.
Oh, no.
Would I recommend it at the same
To me,
level?
60% is Patron, brother. I'm just going to tell you, it's not the best.
Would I recommend it at the same level that you've seen of our Casa Pecado or the pretty one?
The pretty one, the Class Azul.
The Class Azul.
Are you feeling it a little bit more today than normal? I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Did you even eat? I'm just gonna...
This one is so good that I might have a slight inability to recognize what we have, fully tasted.
Yes.
However, that does not take away from my opinion at this beverage.
So, first of all, I'm going to put this in my budget tequilas. That's where I'm going to put it in. Because, of course, Class Azul, you're looking at 150... excuse me, I got to beep that one out. 150 to 180 degrees. $180. It is way more expensive for that unit than this one. But budget tequilas, way worth it. That one was 150. That one, $150. This one, $60. $60. Way worth it. And then, of course, we will review it another day. But San Mateos, San Mateos, it's behind the one right there. San Mateos Grand Reserva. Now, this one for the same price. We haven't reviewed it on the channel yet, but this one, I do give it a slightly better review than this one. But we're going to review it live on the channel before. For the same price, I'd go that one. But still, you cannot go wrong with the Chamucas. And it's beautiful artwork.
Especially if we're talking about you guys who are looking for a tequila that is not typically offered at a bar. That bar tequila is typically that salt and lime to chase it. So this one would be a very affordable price point to enjoy.
You know what? I'm going to challenge you. I want to challenge you guys out there right now. We need to make a promise to start bringing good tequilas into your local
watering holes.
I'm just saying. Because there's no reason why we need to be accepting Patron or your 1800 as this is the best that you can get. No. Ask them. Start putting in your bar either a Chamucas or a San Martinez, or even, you know what, even at the same price point, because of course they want to look at the prices. I'd even say, yes, definitely the Uno Dos Tres from Organic Uno Dos Tres. But I'd even say for $44 in Michigan, you can get the Padrecito. We're going.
Right.
That's oh no, that's on this side. That's over here on this side.
I can't pull it out for you guys. Sorry.
But I want to start challenge you to ask for better tequila in your local bar.
And yes, you might find a bar with Avion, which is actually a step above 1800 and Patron. Because we enjoyed that on the cruise that we were just
Because that's
on.
all we had. That's all we could have, you know.
But it was either Avion or 1800. And at least Avion was alcohol backwards and flavor forward versus alcohol forward and flavored backwards.
Yes, but you know what? They actually still. But when you look at Tequila Matchmaker and you look at Avion, they actually did make it right. They do make it right. We'll do one day. We'll actually review that one, but it's kind of a little bit lower on the scale as far as what I like to get. Again, if it's not on 80 or above when it comes to matchmaker.com, tequilamatchmaker.com, I'm not going to buy it. I'm just not going to buy it. Again, until then, remember,
keep living and remember to
sip, savor, and celebrate.